The year was 1977. Star Wars was killing the box office, Elvis had died, and Atari had just released their first home gaming system, the 2600. Originally called the Video Computer System, or Atari VCS, this early 8-bit console ran on a 1.19 MHz processor and had only 128 bytes of RAM.
The 2600 really is my earliest memories of gaming. Staying up late, drinking root beer with friends, hating that Pac-Man game, but at the same time playing it obsessively.
When it hit the shelves, the Atari came boxed with a pair of paddles, a copy of Combat, and 2 of the classic orange button joysticks. Along with buttons for power, reset, and select, the Atari could toggle between color and black and white. And if the games were too challenging, you could switch the difficulty between A for advanced or B for beginner.
What's so interesting to look at is how you set up the Atari 2600. It looked like something out of a David Cronenberg movie, just these strange boxes you attach to the RV signal on the back of your television and these strange switches that you went back and forth.
It cost $200, which, adjusting for inflation, would now run you about $700. Despite the price tag, the console would become a household name. Popular titles included Pitfall, where you would swing on vines, jump on alligators, and avoid scorpions to snag treasure.
I remember Pitfall, and by passing off that joystick, we were able to hit that magic number. I believe it was 10,000 to join the Pitfall Harry Club, which really brought no great glamour to one's life.
Missile Command, where you could protect 6 cities from an onslaught of ballistic missiles. And the 2D shooter Space Invaders that pitted you against a wave of aliens.
That's one, when you look back, you can't figure out how it was entertaining, be it on the 2600 or in the arcade, but it was, because you hit a button, the alien disappeared, and that was innately satisfying.
The popularity of these titles helped set the standard for cartridges, since most systems, like the Magnavox Odyssey, came pre-programmed. In 1980, Atari would earn over $2 billion and would double its sales by '82. They would go on to develop several versions of the 2600, like the wood-grained model and the streamlined all-black Darth Vader system. However, it would turn out that the Force was not so strong with Atari. Highly anticipated titles like Pac-Man and E.T. only spent 6 weeks in development and were critically panned. Pac-Man was a flickering mess, and E.T. was so bad, Atari buried millions of unsold copies in a New Mexico landfill.
The most frustrating game, I think it was Pac-Man, because I would be playing Pac-Man in the arcade, and that is not how it played or how it looked.
On top of these high-profile disasters, pornographic titles began to crop up, like Custer's Revenge, in which your objective was to molest a Native American woman. All of this culminated in the video game crash of 1983, resulting in Atari losing over $500 million and retailers pulling systems from their shelves. In 1984, Atari would try to release a more cost-effective console for $50, commonly known as the 2600 Junior, but by then, the damage was done. Although games would continue to be produced for the 2600, it would never fully recover from the crash.
Despite the quality, the actual impact at the time of the 2600, it is so important what that system did, because it suddenly made people realize that you could be playing games on your television.
Officially, the Atari 2600 was retired in 1992, making it the longest-running home gaming system, lasting 17 years.
Even though it collapsed and almost destroyed the entire industry, it also made that industry in the first place, and for that, it will always have a special place in the annals of video games.